let's start with that basic information, and then I'm going to show you how we can leverage the home page for ease of access to data, whether the person is working from within the actual desktop and or from the web product. So let's go ahead and start with a couple of basic things. So I'm logged in as Mary right now, and if I go over to the Finances menu and I go to Manage Invoices, then as an office manager with full access to everything in the system, I'm able to find that in this sample database, and we have some sample data coming in from QuickBooks with 2019, that's the magic year they use for their invoices, and actually even 2018, you'll see that further down. Bottom line, I'm able to access 211 invoices as user Mary. I have totals here for the invoice totals, payment totals, etc. Now, before the training today, before the webinar today, I created a name search. And the name search basically says, I'm interested in looking at the invoices that were before 2018. So it's limiting the date range for that search. And I put that in the advanced search and put it in the dropdown, available then in the dropdown. And so when I apply that search, I'm only going to get 41 records. And if you sort by the invoice date, you'll see there are sample data here all the way to 2009. You sort the other way, and it's going to go all the way to 2016. So this is just the criteria I built. And by the way, if you haven't seen name searches before, so we'll jump in and just show you what that would look like. When you go take a look at the invoices before 2018, the criteria simply selected the date field from the left-hand side and put a criteria that says this is before January 1, 2018. That's the extent of it. We did that through the maintain name searches, and once that is built, it's available to us up here. So let's now go to the home page, and because we have the whole idea of a home page is for it to contain and summarize for you your KPIs, your key performance indicators, the things that matter to you when you work within the results system. And so let's go ahead and say, okay, now Mary is going to add to the home page for herself and other staff this unique new name search that we created to access all the invoices that are before 2018. How do we do that? We go to the home page, we click on the add. These are the buttons on the top right of where you can add the things that you want to put on your home page and other people's home page. So in this case, the home page maintenance screen opens up. I click on the drop down to specify what am I interested in. What I'm interested in is invoices. That's the module. I click on the drop down and I'm being asked what is it that I'm interested in from a search criteria. See the invoices before 2018? That's the same one that we had built and tested from the Data Management Center under invoices. And now, instead of just putting it on Mary Harris's, my actual homepage, here's something else I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on everybody's homepage. So we had something pre-built, so I don't waste your time while we're on the webinar. And I went ahead and showed you how it works, and I selected it, and now it shows up on my homepage. So notice, by the way, the answer, the same answer I had gotten when I was looking for it here, 41 records, is exactly what's going to be shown, because the answer for those invoices before 2018, as far as Mary is concerned, is 41 invoices. And at any time, whether this is open or not, that I come in and say, let me see what's in there, and it's going to be 41. Obviously, if somebody now from another workstation, or I go create another invoice, or I convert a sales order to an invoice, then that number will go up and will reflect the actual number of invoices in the system before that date. Now, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how the system is going to look when we log in as Dimitri. I don't know if you're aware of this, but when you're inside results and you go to the tools menu on the top right of your screen, you have the ability to switch to another user on the fly. So I'm able to come in right now and tell the system I'm going to log in as Dimitri. I'm going to click OK. So when Dimitri right now, with the way the system is set, is not set up to open up the home page automatically, we're going to go open the home page for Dimitri. Here's the magic thing that I wanted to show you and how the system takes care of itself internally. You'll notice that when I was logged in as Mary, as an office manager, I added the invoices before 2018 to all users. Remember that? So now that homepage entry shows up here with invoices before 2008 on Dimitri's page. And when we were looking at Mary's entry, there were 41 invoices. What is going on? How is it possible that now all of a sudden we're down to 12 invoices? Remember what I showed you before. Dimitri is a restricted user. That means when Dimitri is working within the system, the only records and the only things that he can work on are the actual records that belong to Dimitri. Everything else is invisible to his eyes. And that's the power of what we call the restricted use. You're able to set up users, limit them to what you want them to be able to see and engage in the system, and you don't have to go and create every single variation of the searches to allow a person like Dimitri to be operational. The same name search will self-protect and only expose and show what the person is allowed to see. And so the same invoices before 2018, when used by Dimitri, because he's restricted user, versus used by Mary, it's going to end up with different answers because he's not authorized to see the rest of the system. So that's one of the more powerful features within the results regarding restricting users. Now, when you're working with sales reps, many times you'll get a little bit of a pushback on it's like, wait a minute, you're limiting me, you're not letting me see every customer in there. What if I meet a person at a networking event or a chamber event or at a trade show? How would I know that I shouldn't follow up with her or him based on the fact that they're already a customer in results, as an example? If you restrict me, then how am I going to see this? By the way, also keep in mind, if I go to contacts as I'm still logged in as Dimitri and I go to manage, these are the only 8 records I'm going to see in the system. If I log as Mary, there's over 100 records in the system, regardless whether they are customers, prospects, etc. And the reason he's able to see them is because he's the assigned to those accounts. And Dimitri is restricted only to that universe. Okay, so one of the pushbacks, again, you're going to get from sales reps sometimes, and it's an actual reality. It's like you'll be concerned about not only letting them find out that the person is already a customer because they can hurt your relationship and they're going to pursue them or follow up with them as if they're a prospect when they're really a customer. So the way we solve that for you is through this magic icon up here. You see this icon all the way on the top left corner right next to the R. If you click on it, it gives you an actual selectionist search capability. And the power of this search capability is that it's built for restricted sales individuals. The concern is, what if I meet a person with a person that the company starts with the letter S, and those individuals might not be assigned to Dimitri? Notice he's not assigned on any of them. He cannot see any of those records. But what did we do for you? We allowed those records to be found. We do not expose any sensitive data. No phone numbers are shown, no email addresses are shown, no actual physical addresses shown. We are able to show enough information for them to know whether they're in the system or not, whether they're a prospect, customer, a friend, a vendor, whatever they are, so it will identify what they are, and will identify the individual if one is assigned that's responsible for them. So if Dimitri has a question about following up with Rocky, he's going to need to talk to Mike. Mike owns that assignment of that account. And so the ability to use this search engine to avoid the concern about potentially hurting relationships where you restrict a user, but they still need to confirm whether they're in the system or not without knowing too much about them, is accommodated in results. Now, let's go and show you the same thing we just did from the web product. And please, again, if you have questions, put them into the questions area, and Mike and Jonathan are monitoring this, and I'll be able to respond to you directly from there. So first, I'm going to log in as Mary, and this is the same database that we're logged in. So notice all of a sudden, and automatically there, just a couple of minutes ago, together we added invoices before 2018, and it's already there, and there's 41. And if I click on the open directly from within the, this is the browser example that I'm using right now. This is a product that can be used from any device on any browser that is on the net. And so whether you're using Chrome a Safari, which is the Mac browser, or Firefox or Internet Explorer, you'll be able to use this product. It has very similar core functionality that's what you're used to the desktop product. We organize it in the same way, so you have all the same major features up here, and you have the home page to go to. You can even jump to the My Results items like show me my to-do list, show me this, show me that. So in this case, I came in as Mary, went to the home page. I have the 41 invoices that I just designed a minute ago. By the way, also keep in mind, I can go to Manage Invoices. I have the same advanced search. So as soon as I build the search once, it's available anywhere within the office, on the road. Any user can use it right away. And this is the same functionality. So let's exit from here and now log in as Dimitri from the web. And by the way, you can turn off access if you want to certain users and say, I don't want you to work from the web. You're only allowed to work from the office. That's totally part of your user setup. So in this case, I've logged in as Dimitri, and notice the experience for Dimitri on the web is identical. I didn't have to do any additional programming. I don't have to wait for delayed synchronization. I instantly have access to only 12, and if I click on them, these are the 12 invoices that are within Dimitri's ability to access them because they're all assigned to Dimitri. Everything else about the web has the same core functionality as you would expect from the regular product.